Namaste guys, welcome along. John is my name. Today I thought we'd focus a little on the hamstrings. Of course, hamstrings, you can't just exercise them in isolation. You could, but it's not much fun and it's not that practical. But it is certainly worthwhile looking at your hamstrings and keeping them soft and supple, especially if you have a job that requires you to sit for many hours of a day. It's essentially sort of programming them to shorten. So a bit of a strategy around hamstrings is good. Not only does it give you more, flexibility, mobility, but it also allows the energy in your body, which also runs in meridians up and down the back of the legs, important ones too, to flow. So we'll start. So we'll just start on our back, Come down onto your back and hug the left knee up to your chest, all right? And rotate the ankle, and the other way. And then bring that knee closer to the center line and start to straighten the leg. And take your hands laced behind the back of the thigh, right? And just point and flex the foot, all right? And you can start to pull your leg with your hands and press the back of the thigh into the hands, right? No overdoing it, just simply stretching for the hell of it. It feels nice, yeah? Just stretch it out. Good. Place the foot on the knee, right? Take your hands overhead. Press out through the heels of the hands. Really reach out there, reach out. Breathe in, lift your buttocks. Lift your buttocks. Come down. Take the left hand under or between the legs, yeah? And the other hand come around. You can again be at the back of the thigh or the shin. And you just settle into this. Of course, this is not working the hamstrings. This is a little bit more for, other muscles in the glutes, yeah, and your lower back, just depending on how tight you are. And relax. You cross your shins, and you just sort of roll around. You just roll around, and then the other way. Breathing. Try and get a nice rhythmic, conscientious breathing pattern going on. Take your hands overhead. Bring your feet up. And just rock up and down. You can take your feet sort of a little bit further towards your head. Just rocking. Keep the chin tucked in. Come up. Place the soles of the feet together and just draw your head back and draw your shoulders back. Just roll your neck. All right, and press those knees apart and relax and separate your feet and just coming forward, reaching out with your fingers, bringing your head down, just stretching the lower back there. No big deal, there's nothing to, nowhere necessarily to be except in a place of safety and pleasure. And you relax. And you come down onto your back, and this time we do that on the other side. So you bring your right knee up to your chest or towards your shoulder and rotate the ankle one way. And then the other way. And point and flex it. Point and flex it. Then the left knee, place the foot on it. Take those hands overhead. Big breath in, push out through the heels of the hands, and lift right up. Lift right up. My musical instrument is in the way, so I can't reach. Lift up. Come down. Take the right hand between the legs. Left hand comes around the back of the thigh or the shin. And you just ease your way into this, guys. Take your time. If something feels sore, you be very careful. Naturally, it's all common sense. It's all common sense. You release, you slowly raise that leg, and don't be so surprised if, one side is softer than the other. Your hands behind the back of the thigh or the knee. The back of the thigh is good. And just point and press. Pull the toes back and then point them. Stretching. And then you can slowly get into it, right? So if your legs are a bit bent, right? You can always use a belt here as well if you like. But you're just trying to straighten out and push out through the heel. Just strengthening and lengthening. And relaxing. And you have your knees bent and your feet either side of the mat, and you just simply lift a little bit further. Maybe swirl the buttocks a bit, just to suss out everything down there. And if it's all okay, then you can focus a little bit further by lacing the fingers together and lifting and squeezing the soles of the feet into the floor and the hands together and pressing the shoulder blades towards the spine and relaxing, coming down, just relaxing. Breathe in and let the knees sort of flop to the left. Breathe in, they flop to the right. Breathe in, they flop to the left. But this time you just press the right knee down a little bit further. And again, left. The knees come to the right and you press the left knee down. Good. You come up, you sit up. Yeah, you sit up. You take your right leg out and your left heel comes in, right? And you take your left hand to the outside of the thigh or the knee or the shin or the ankle or the foot. Right? And you lift. This knee is pressing one. If it's tight, right? If it's sore and you can't kind of get if you're a little bit up like that, and you feel a little bit wobbly, right? Just put something underneath it just to give you a bit more support, right? And here, try not to sort of round. Just lift your head, draw the toes back, and just feel things. Pressing the knee away, pressing the length of the back of the leg into the floor, drawing the toes back to turn on the hamstrings, and just twist a little bit to the right, trying to get the center line of your torso down over that leg. Just stretching those poor old hamstrings. Stretching, relaxing, taking your left hand out, just coming up, drawing that top shoulder back, and coming down. And we do it on the other side, right? So left leg out, right knee bent. Maybe you have something underneath it. It's a bit sore there. You got some injury. Use the time to massage it. Yeah, I've got an injury there from 40 years ago. Right. So right hand to the wherever. Right. You just don't want to be slumped, and don't be ambitious about your yoga. You can be ambitious about everything else, your bank account, your position in the company, all that sort of stuff, but not about yoga. Just try and enjoy this. Right. So that's one of the beauties of practicing at home. You've got no one to compete against, right? And you start to work your right shoulder towards that left knee. And you're just stretching out. You're pressing the length of the back of the leg into the mat. You're feeling it maybe in the hip somewhere, in the buttocks somewhere. You're just stretching. Where does it feel good? Just like when you get a massage. Oh, mate, it feels good there. Oh, that's nice. And you relax. The right hand comes behind, breathe in, reach up, come back. And then you come into a downward dog, yeah? So, just place your feet towards the edge of the mat and just press the right heel into the mat, right? And relax the left knee and just focus on the back of the knee and the calf and the ankle, and then swap it up. Swap it up. And repeat. Good. Lower the right knee. Step the left foot up. Come up. And just simply lunge. You're on the instep of the back foot. You're just simply lunging here. Just stretching. working these hip flexors and the glutes and everything that's attached to those tight hamstrings, yeah? The right hand comes down onto the floor. Left arm comes up. Come up. You shift the weight into the back knee and you come up onto your heel. And you just lift your head and you immediately feel it. Right? So the leg is locked out. This left leg is locked out. The hands, maybe you can come down to your thigh, maybe your knee. Some of you are more flexible. You get your chest down towards the thigh. Pull the toes back and just find out where it feels like I'm doing some work, but I'm not trashing myself. You relax. You come down. You straighten the back leg. And you step back, down dog. You push both heels towards the floor this time. This is a more formal downward dog. Working your chest down to your thighs and you're spreading the fingers. You're getting a nice stretch through the spine. You come down. You sit. Maybe you sit on a block, cushion, sit on the floor, sit on your heels like I'm sitting, but make sure it's comfortable. Just breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Look over the right shoulder, guys. Take the floor with your right hand or take the left foot and just nice twist. Nice twist. And relax. And breathe in. Left hand to the floor or the foot. And you come around. And you come up onto your knees and you tuck your toes and you just press your pelvis forward, yeah, just so you're activating the lower back. Doesn't have to be a big deal. And you relax. And you come down into a downward dog. You part your feet and hands towards the edge of the mat, right? You lower the left knee and step the right foot up. And the hands can come to the thighs. You just lunge out and you're on the instep of the back foot, pressing the lower part of the back leg into the mat. Maybe, working that front foot forward. Just, you find your distance. Where does it feel good, right? Left hand comes down. Right arm up. And, you reach it up. You maybe draw it back. You come up. You straighten that leg. You lock it out. Your hands are on wherever. Your head lifts. You're kind of leading with your chest, yeah, pulling the toes back, just working those hamstrings, but not killing them, just gently stretching them, just gently stretching them. And if you do work in an office environment, you should get up every half an hour, and do something like this, Doesn't mean the whole thing, but, just something that you remember. Relax, you come down, you step back, down dog. You spread the fingers, take your feet either side of the mat. You lift your buttocks towards the ceiling, your chest is sort of coming down towards your thighs. You come to high plank and you just lower your hips into a bit of a back bend. And if you can't handle it because your wrists are a bit sore or whatever, just lower the knees. And you come down. Maybe you loosen up your wrists. And you breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You breathe in, you lower your right ear to the right shoulder. You relax. You lower your left ear to the left shoulder. You relax. You come up, you bring the heels together. Your knees nice and wide, right? You raise one arm, you raise the other arm. You draw the shoulders back. You breathe in and you simply press up to tiptoes. You come down. And you loosen up. Breathing, lifting one heel as you sway away from it. Twist away from it. Breathing. Good. So now your right leg comes out, right? And you turn, you lace your fingers, So you should have your feet either side of the mat. If you've got them in a straight line, then that introduces an element of balance, and you can do that, right? But I'll demonstrate this way, right? And that leg is locked out. You lift the lift the foot off and push the heel into the mat, and just come forward, lead with the chest. If you like, you can now place the sole of the foot down. You stop wherever. You can release the hands to the knee, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Some of you guys are a bit softer in the hips and whatever, and the hamstrings. You can come down and relax. And you lunge. And you just swivel for a moment onto the ball of the back foot. And you come up, hands to the hips. Nice big breaths, guys. Nice big breath. And the other way. Nice big breath. Good. We do it on the other side. So you're leading with your left leg, right foot to the side, or maybe I demonstrate that in the straight line. If you're doing it in a straight line, the front heel kind of bisects the angle of the back foot. And you try and get those hips turned. Again, you lace, you lift, you push into the sole of that front foot. You're just coming down, you're feeling it. You're feeling it. My hip and my hamstring on the left side are nowhere near. They're only probably 80% of the other side, the right side. Maybe you release the hands, and then you can relax your leg, not your leg, your torso into it. You come up, you take the foot to the side, you turn, you lunge, you come down, step back, down dog. Push the heels to the floor, chest towards the thigh, spread the fingers, come up into high plank. As long as you haven't got rings on, right? Maybe you can take the fists, give your wrists a break, and lower the hips. You're on the balls of the feet or the tiptoes or the insteps, and you relax. All my wires showing here. And you're just breathing again, guys. Just breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. While you're taking this passive phase in the class, you reach out with the right arm, left arm pulls it in, and you twist your head so you're looking right over the right shoulder. Relax. Your fingertips come to your deltoids. You roll. Maybe your elbows can touch. Nice big circles. And then the other way. Good. The left arm reaches out and the right pulls at it. You twist your neck. And you're just pulling with the bent arm, and you're pushing against the bent arm with the straight arm. And you're feeling that whole shoulder area, fully activated. And you relax. You come down. Knees bent. Just folding forward here. Just folding forward. Just stretching the lower back. Yeah, not overdoing it. Not overdoing it. You've got to enjoy this stuff. Why? Because if you don't enjoy it, why would you revisit it? Gosh, life is tough enough without adding, something that you don't like doing to the mix. Okay. So straighten both legs out. Pull the toes back. Pull your shoulders back. Breathe in. Lift up. Dig the heels in. Push, push, push. Lift. Press. And come down. And then just take your hands behind the back of the knees. Now, try not to do this. Right? Try and lift out of the hips a bit. You're kind of hinging and swiveling from the hips. Your hands are behind the back of the knees here. The toes are drawn back. Your legs are together, yeah? And you just, as you come forward, what do you feel? Well, you feel your hamstrings, you feel your hips, you feel everything down there, right? So you want to be working around about 70-80%, right? And you're just stretching it out. If you feel that you can release those hands, you can. If you want to get a belt, right? You get a belt or, something, you can stretch out. Maybe you just grab the feet, the toes, but, behind the knees, behind the thighs, anywhere, just up here, right? Just stretching, keeping the spine long, keeping the head elevated, because as soon as you drop it, the spine rounds. And that, rounded spine is okay, it's no big deal, but if for lengthy periods of time, or for people who've got already some weakness in the spinal column, maybe if you round, and especially if you're under pressure, the discs between the vertebrae, they have a tendency to slip, pop forward. So you're just stretching out. And you relax. You come down onto your back again. You bring your feet together and raise your right leg. Lace your hands behind the back of the thigh, or maybe those hamstrings are a bit softer, or the knee, right? Some of you guys are flexible up here, wherever, yeah? And you just straighten out the left leg. Now, the top leg, right, you got to be gently pressing it, pulling it back, and at the same time pressing the leg into the hands. Now, if that's too strong, you bend this knee. Otherwise, you've got both legs straightened out and pushing out through both heels. You relax, you lift up, and you just go, a little carousel movement here with the top leg, and you come down. And you take a rest, and we're nearly done. Yeah? We're nearly done. Feet together, left leg up, hands laced again behind the back of the thigh, pulling on the back of the thigh, pushing the leg into it, or the knee, or the calf, or the ankle, right? You reach out with your right leg. You can place your chin on your chest and stretch that upper part of your back. If you feel the hamstrings soften and give, then you can pull them back a bit. Keep the toes pulled back, pressing out through the heel, feeling the stretch, easing where necessary, and relaxing. Crossing your shins and just rolling your knees around, hugging them up around the chest as you come up towards the torso, and just feeling the lower back, just relaxing. Just relaxing. And you bring the soles of the feet together and you let your knees flop out. And you just take a moment here, just a couple of minutes, just to let everything integrate into your body. Maybe, get your energy back. Whatever, recover. It's the sweet part of the class. It's all nice. So thank you very much for visiting the channel. If you like the class, you just hit the subscribe button there or give it a thumbs up. Namaste. Thank you.